Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and to our little playground here. So at the moment all we've really got is a ground, some different textures that we did in the last video, and a box. But today what I want to show you is how to import a asset from, let's say, a website like sketchfab.com. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to have to go over to sketchfab.com. When you get in here, you'll just have a simple search bar. I've already searched for a pine tree, so I'm going to take in a pine tree. Important to know is licenses. If you don't know about licenses, it might be worth checking up. CC0, free standard, and standard are typically ones that you don't need to attrition anyone, but if you get CC BY, you need to do some attrition. The license will come up in the actual asset itself, so this is one we want to use here. It's the pine tree, which I've already opened here. Opens up to give you a better look of it. And we're just going to scroll down to where it says download 3D model, and then you've got your license here. If there's attrition needed, there will be the option to copy the attrition for you. Now you're going to download it as an FBX file. This is best for Unreal Engine 5. So you can hit download and then you're going to wait for it to download. I have obviously already downloaded this. So what I want to do next is prepare our folder for download. So we're just going to have a folder here. We're just going to call it pine tree. Remember, there's no spaces on Unreal, so we're going to use an underscore, or we're not going to bother with the space at all. So we're going to go in here, leave the content door open, and we're going to go over to our source file here. We have the pine. We're going to drag that to here. Now that will load up this here. We're not going to click on anything at all. We're just going to click on import. So you'll leave everything as it is. And that's going to import it all here, as you can see. We'll just give it a minute. Depending on the size of the asset we're importing will determine the size, obviously. Now we can see here that's only imported the mesh. So what we want to do next is create another folder within the folder, and we're just going to call it textures. Actually, it has created the materials, so that's actually okay. But I don't know what's on those textures yet. Maybe there's nothing. Let's have a quick look. Some of them will come in with everything attached and working properly. Others will come in, as you can see, this is just coming as black, so we're probably going to have to delete. We're probably going to have to just create our own textures. Typically when you do these things, when you download them, you'll also have a source and the textures when you open it file. So just go into the textures. We don't need to worry about the previews. PB and PBA. So we probably do need these actually. So I'm just going to import all of these in here. They will just import nice and quick. Give us a rough idea of what we need to do for texture. So this is probably like the bark. Yeah, we will look at that in just a second. So we're going to come back to here. Now we've got all our meshes here. Ultimately this is fine if you're just going to make a blueprint with it, which is what we're going to do. If you're looking to put it into foliage, what you're first going to have to do is you have to take all the meshes, drag them out here, and then you can see first of all the size is absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to click our scale tool and grab the little white box here so that we can just take the whole thing down in size itself. That's probably still a bit too big, but we'll wait until we've got an actual mesh. So once we've done that, we're going to right click and we're going to go to oh, it should actually be up here, I think. So we're basically looking to merge it, which doesn't here. So we're going to click Edit, Tools. Oh, I saw merge something there. Merge actors. We're going to merge actors. Now we just click merge actors. We're going to go back at the pine tree here, and we're just going to call this mesh pine tree. I'm going to save that there. And then you can see here, we just close that, and we have a full mesh here. So we now just click on it. So we can now just basically delete all this. We don't need all this. Apparently that's a circle, but okay. So they made this with circles, quite impressive. So we're going to tick all that. We're going to delete it. Whatever's left, we need to delete that as well. Planes, so we can get rid of the planes. That'd be for like leaves. Get rid of all that, so we don't need that on there anymore. If you are putting this into foliage, you are going to come up to your selection mode. You're going to click foliage. You see where it says drop foliage here. You're going to take your content drawer, probably lower this down because it is a bit of a pain, and you're just going to drop that into there. That, for whatever reason, has not worked. Save asset as foliage types, just leave it like that. There we go. You now have that in foliage that you can put out using foliage if you're going to do that, but we're not going to do that. That's just an example. So what we want to do is raise this up again, and I want to find a little gap there where I can right click, blueprint class. It's going to be an actor because we can place a spawner in the world. Then they're going to come up here where they're going to call it BP for blueprint and pine underscore tree. Then we just want to open that straight up. And inside there, we want to find the mesh that we just made. SM mesh, static mesh foliage. So we want to find this static mesh here, put that in there. Now straight away, you see the size. Unfortunately, it's only the one, so we can just do this. Take it down in size. Then we're going to compile and save. Next, we're going to look at our materials. So you can see we've got 3 sets of branches and bark, but they have not imported in properly. So let's just drag this down here so it's less annoying. We're going to go back into our textures. So we can tell that there is probably 2 sets of branches looking at these here. And we're looking at 3 barks. That would be 1, 2, and 3. PB8K normal, we might not even need that. So we're going to look at the PBA first. So we're going to right click, create material. I'm just going to call it material underscore PBA. So M underscore PBA. That's going to create material here. We'll then do the same for PBA light. Material underscore PBA underscore light. Probably going to be our branches. They'll be dragged in, so we can make textures for those. Those are our previews. Okay, so we want to come to this. Now, I do not know what to actually call this one. So let's just leave it as is, but take away the underscore material, come over here, and then just put the M underscore in front of that. Then we're gonna, this will go in there. So we can open this up. We have the texture sample here. We're not going to add the scaler that we normally would because this isn't the same as what we do when we download from Polyhaven. This is just going to go into the normal, like so. Save that. We don't even need to make material instances with these. So the other normal, I'm not sure what to do with that. PB, I wonder if that's supposed to go into the PBA. We'll leave it in C. Right, so these are our branches. These must be our branches, so we are going to create materials from these. Not what I wanted to do, but okay. So I'm going to rename that. Again, I'm not sure which is which, so I'm just going to put material underscore in front of it. Sometimes it does that. And do the same with the other two. Create material. It is just trial and error figuring out what goes where half the time when it comes to importing textures from specific assets. We just want to see what makes it look best. So we're going to have our materials now. So we're going to assume that this is some kind of, is one of these. So we want to sort of figure out what goes where. So we look at branch 3. Let's just scroll down and we have concrete grime. So that looks like it could be part of the leaves. So what I'm going to make that, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to drag it in because it's easier to keep track. I'm going to assume that that is this. I'm going to drag that in there. Branch 1, let's just drag this one in. See what happens. So yeah, that's probably going to work out. Branch 2, going to cover the other side. Now you can see this kind of comes out as paper, but I'm going to show you what to do with that, so don't worry about it. Just back, just so we don't make any accidental changes. Now we're on to bark, which I think is going to be this one here. So I'm just going to put that in there. We get that like that there, so that's light. So I'm guessing this is element 4. No, element 5. I feel like Peeper light is element 5. Yeah, I'm going to put Peeper 5 as element 5. Element 4, I'm not sure what that even is, so I'm going to, that's the very bottom. Okay, that's the very, very bottom. So we're probably looking at that in this one. Nope, I put that in the wrong place. I should just have to. Oh. I imagine that's probably that one as well. One thing is you can make it look how you want it to look. So I'm going to compile that, save that, and I'm able to close that down and we can drag that in. Let's have to find the blueprint, which is back here. So then for our blueprint pine tree, we drag that in. And you can already see here, it doesn't look good. It looks like photographs. It just looks like photographs. So what we want to do there, if you want to come into those specific textures, so we're going to start here with this one here, move this away from here, and what we're going to do is from our, that's not what we're looking for. No, we're looking for this here, that's why. So we're going to change opaque to masked. And then from A or alpha, we're going to take that to our opaque mask. Give it a second. And you're going to see that the spaces kind of disappear. So we are then going to save that. Close it down and open up our next one. We're going to do exactly the same thing here. So you click on this one here, change it to masked, plug in the A into opaque mask, hit save. So you can only see one side's already starting to look more tree-like. So just this one here to do. Click the wrong thing. To masked, alpha to opaque mask. Hit save. And there you have it. We have our tree. That is how you make a tree look like a tree. So I wanted to show you that specifically because of having to mask away with the leaves and the branches so that you can get it to look more like the actual tree model instead of just pictures on branches. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. And for more, stay tuned and we'll make more. Thank you very much.